I have some time before I head down to Shinjuku to meet with someone for a casual business lunch. We should take this opportunity to try out some new makeup. I picked up this, they came out with sample sizes now of this TIRTIR Mask Fit All Cover Cushion Foundation. I always wanted to try this. This is the shade 221N Ivory. I think it's like the middle shade, not the lightest and not the darkest. So this is like the baby pink packaging. It looks like a little dragon egg, especially in the mini size. So these have 4.5 grams of product in them for 1,320 yen. The full size is 18 grams of product for 2,970 yen. Very specific prices there, but yeah, I definitely think it was a good call on their end to offer smaller sample sizes because I don't want to commit to something that may not work out for me. But these foundations have gotten really good reviews, so I'm hopeful. I guess I'll just use the generic puff. I'll do it on one side of my face first. Okay, so there it is on the right side of my face. Pretty good, like medium to full coverage. And then this is my bare skin. Actually no, this is my skin with primer over it. I don't think there's that much of a difference. By saying that, I am tooting my own horn. Yes, I think I have excellent skin, but I was also pretty diligent with like a regular skincare routine this year, so nothing crazy, but I was just conscious to do more face masks and stuff than usual. Okay, finished applying a foundation to the other side of my face. Brows are on. I just need to mention something that I almost completely missed. This shade is pretty much like an exact match for my real skin tone. So much so that I didn't even notice to comment on it when I first was applying this. Did you guys catch that? So I think that's proof right there that this is a dead ringer. Yeah, so far this is actually looking amazing right now. This is like an excellent foundation. Well, we have to wait and see how it survives the next couple of hours. I'll do a check-in with you after I'm back from my little expedition to Shinjuku, but I have a feeling that this is going to live up to its claims. It claims to last up to 72 hours, which I don't think anybody should be wearing foundation on their face for that long. Regardless, this is so far living up to my expectations completely, and it's not really a surprise because I've been seeing rave reviews about this foundation everywhere for the longest time. So they do have 3 different formulations and it comes in basically different colored compacts. So I just have like a little infographic here in Japanese, which I'll translate for you right now. There's the Mask Fit Red Cushion, which will give you more of like a dewy, shiny finish. Well, not shiny maybe, but more like dewy and moist. Then there's the Mask Fit Cushion in the black compact, which claims to be the most like hugging, skin hugging one of the bunch. This one is most meant to imitate like a second layer of skin almost. It's supposed to be super close fitting to your face and all that good stuff. And then last but not least, the one I have is the pink cushion, which is called the Mask Fit All Over Cushion. And this one claims to deliver the highest degree of coverage out of the 3. And I also saw from a couple of people's reviews and random murmurings online that this one is also very, very transfer resistant. I think they're all designed to be pretty transfer proof, but particularly the matte formulations, the black and the pink in your area, I think those are definitely at least marginally more transfer proof than the dewy formulation simply by virtue of being matte. Okay, so for eyes today, I want to play around a little more with my brand new Pat McGrath Mothership Mega palette, Celestial Nirvana. I just did a dedicated review video to this, so I'll link that up here if you want to check it out. If you're not interested in this palette, please skip this part. But I wanted to try and go for like a reddish, very holiday themed type of monochromatic red look today. So I'm just gonna use these 3 colors actually. Don't know the names off the top of my head, but this one, and this one. It's not really showing up true on camera, but this is like a very metallic pinky red, very reflective, and I want to definitely use that today as my topper. That shade was a little bit difficult to blend out, I'm not gonna lie, especially because I really wanted like a very, very thin, almost transparent layer. But I also think that most of that is honestly the ColourPop eye primer's fault. Now I'm gonna deepen it up with Auburn Allure, this shade right here. Okay, 1,000,000 hours of blending later. I kind of messed up this eye because I went in with a dirty brush by accident, but whatever, we're just gonna roll with it. Copy and paste this on the outer third of my lower lash line. And voila, now here comes the best part. I'm going to take some of this on my finger. The name of this shade is Eternal Amour. That's not applying well with a finger, so I'm just gonna switch to a brush. Wow, okay, that's not as intense as I was expecting, just going off the initial hand swatch, but I actually really like this effect that it's giving right now. It's like a really thin veil. Like when I move my head back and forth like this, you can really see the light bouncing off of that. This is a really good palette. Why do people hate it? Like, people be tripping. And I'm just finishing off with this beige shimmer on the inner corner. Ooh, that's really pretty. That is really reflective. Yeah, I really like the way that this shimmer pairs with the red. There's like a bunch of golds in this palette, but I feel like since the red is already so dark and intense, I need something really light to offset it in the corner. Okay, so here is the finished look. Oh my goodness, I am feeling so Christmassy and festive. Well, technically Christmas is over already in Japan, but I am feeling so aligned with the holiday spirit in this makeup, okay? This is a good palette, okay? I don't know what people are tripping about, because I watched like 2 more reviews of this palette even after I uploaded my own. And yeah, there were still some people like salty about this, that, and the third with, oh, patchiness or like not pigmented enough, not reflective enough, too expensive, and I'm like, maybe you are just broke and don't know how to apply it. I don't know what to tell you, but I am in love with this palette, okay? Personally, 1000% worth it to me. Like, I can't keep my hands off of it. I'm on my 3rd use of this palette so far since owning it, and I still want to play with it. Like, I'm not ready to move on to a different palette yet. That's saying a lot, okay, considering the amount of eyeshadow palettes that I purchased, which I do want to try and cut down on in 2023, but you know, knock on wood. Sorry I had to speed by like the rest of the products on my face there because I do have to leave really soon or else I'm gonna be late. I will be mentioning a lot of those in my year-end best of 2022 video though, so don't worry, I will talk about those in more detail there. Yeah, can we just acknowledge that makeup takes a lot of freaking steps to do? Like, forget full glam, even natural makeup. You know how there's like the TikToks that are going viral nowadays about boys saying that they prefer girls without makeup, but then the picture of the girl without makeup is actually still like the same amount of makeup as full glam makeup. It's just in more natural colors. It's literally like, if you want to look good in pictures or film, whether that be in colorful makeup or neutral beigey tones, it doesn't matter. Like, you can't get around the fact that you're gonna have to use at least 20 products on your face. Even someone like me who doesn't even wear foundation on a regular basis, I still, like, I'm sure it's at least 20 products that I go through every single time I sit down to do my makeup. And when I say product, I'm truly counting every single thing, like the eyelash glue, the eyelash curler, the, well, I don't know, do tools count as products? Because then if I counted every single eyeshadow brush that I used, especially for a colorful eye look, then yeah, we would never see the end of that. So maybe let's not include the tools. But, you know, lip liner, lipstick, blush, highlighter, it's a lot, okay? So yeah, anyway, I'm headed out now. I will check in with you guys when I come back on how the foundation is holding up, and yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, I'm back at home. It is now 6:30 p.m. so it's been around 8 hours since I first applied this makeup. As you can see, everything is actually holding up pretty well. As I mentioned, this is the condition after 8 hours, several of which were spent, you know, walking around outside, eating lunch, launch and all that good stuff. The only real deterioration that I can see is that there's a little bit of shininess coming through, a little bit of my natural oils, which is very normal. That was gonna happen anyway. Usually I'm like a lot shinier and oilier than this even, so I would say that this level is pretty impressive. I do think that we can give the foundation and also my usual Etuse skin primer credit for that. The eyeshadow by Pat McGrath, of course, is also holding up nicely. I think it's still very vibrant. Even the shimmer is pretty much almost at the same level as when I first applied it, which is very, very impressive in my opinion, that it didn't fade away more. I saw some people were complaining that the shimmers or just the shadows in this palette in general faded away too quickly, and yeah, I don't really know what they're on about because mine still looks 90% the same as when I freshly applied. I even remember, like, I distinctly remember scratching the inside of my eyes at some point, and even with that, it didn't really damage or move around the inner corner shade here. I think that stuck very well to my lids. Back to the cushion foundation though, which is the focus of this video. You know what? I do hesitate a little bit to say anything definitive just because this is my first time ever trying the foundation, but I do think that I'm leaning towards making an exception this time because it's really like the results speak for themselves, you know? Like, as far as I can see, it pretty much lives up to its claims of being, you know, full coverage and completely transfer proof. I have the proof right here actually in my mask that I wore today. You can see like a tiny bit of my nose contour and a little bit of my lipstick has rubbed off on the inside, but there are no foundation stains anywhere to be found. And so I think we can say that pretty much for the first time in the history of marketing, at least in my experience, a brand is actually telling the truth about being transfer proof when it comes to masks and things like that. Because every single brand that I've tried so far that has claimed their product to be transfer proof has actually turned out not to be. Like, I've never met a brand that was actually telling the truth on that, because if you think about it, it's like, how can anything be truly 100% transfer proof? Not saying this isn't 100% per se, but 98%, 97%, yeah, I'll give it to TIRTIR. And you can see there's like no crackage or oxidization whatsoever happening. The shine that is coming through with my natural oils is very natural, and it's not like breaking up the foundation in any way. It's kind of just like the foundation harmonizes with everything else on my face, including any other makeup I have put on, along with any of my natural oils that are seeping through, which I think is very impressive. Yeah, overall, I just got a real sense of like true innovation and newness from this foundation that I feel like a lot of brands try so hard to chase and like push their products to be the best new cutting edge thing in terms of formulation or design, what have you. But TIRTIR actually did manage to meet the mark in that sense. They understood the assignment. Aside from the great long-wearing performance that you're seeing on my face right now, even during just the application process when I was applying this onto my skin, I could feel that the texture, the entire feel of the foundation was just something that I had never really encountered before. It's almost like a liquid latex-like consistency, if that makes sense. Now, usually I know we associate descriptors like latexy or rubbery feeling as bad, especially when it comes to foundations. With this foundation, I feel like it is kind of latexy, but only in all the good ways, if that makes sense. Like, first of all, the formula is so thin that it really does spread smoothly, almost like a second skin across your entire face. But then on top of that, it's also super like opaque and high coverage, even with just that tiny thin layer. So essentially it's just like this seamless second skin effect. And then when you blend it out, it doesn't tend to clump up or get patchy in areas. It really just spreads smoothly, like one even layer across your entire face. So in that sense, that's kind of what I mean when I say it's latexy. But then it's also very breathable and flexible. I feel like I keep repeating myself, but it really is like you're attaching a second layer of skin, like a more superior artificial layer of skin to your real skin layer underneath, and they're just like moving together in perfect harmony. And it stays doing that for several hours, up to 72 in fact, is what they claim. But I mean, where is the lie though, right? Can you see a single crack in my foundation anywhere? No. Not a crack to be found, okay? So you know what, even though it was essentially like a blind first test, first impression situation, I'm gonna go ahead and say that I recommend this 10 out of 10, just because like all of the positive reviews and raves that I've been hearing up until now, compounded with my own 8 hours experience in the field wearing this foundation and having it still hold up so well at the end of the day. I think that is enough for me in this particular scenario to go ahead and say that, yeah, I definitely see what all the hype is about this foundation. Eventually, I might get around to trying the other two formulations in the red and black cushions, but for now, I do think that I made the right choice for me. The mask fit all over, and honestly, again, as somebody who rarely ever does a full face of foundation these days, I anticipate that even this tiny sample size is gonna last me for quite a while before I'm going to have to make another big foundation purchase. But then again, the samples are really affordable. Like 1,320 yen is not bad at all, especially considering that I just bought, this was 1,650 yen for like a concealer or a highlight and shade duo stick. But yet this foundation compact, which is arguably a much more important step in the makeup routine, is only 1,320. Make it make sense. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there for now. I hope this was helpful for you. If you really want me to review the other two formulas, just drop me a comment below. If you ask nicely, I'll probably do it just for you. That's how dedicated I am to my subscribers. Thank you for joining me today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!